So I'm of the belief, first of all, that any young person, but really everybody, but any young person in particular should definitely leave to experience different things. Whatever talents, whatever abilities that they have, cultivate those abilities and then bring them back, if possible, if it makes sense. It's always been in my plan to do that, to come back to the city and bring those things to the table. In terms of my experience, I think that diversity and perspective always raises the collective IQ of the entire group, always. And I think that's really important to be able to bring different perspectives to the table. And so when I went to West Michigan, it was certainly a difference. It was definitely not what I envisioned, a booming economy, a place with a growing amount of diversity. And what I did was I actually majored in, or double majored in, accounting and business management. For me, I was always high on business acumen. I was always an entrepreneur, and so I was involved in a lot of different entrepreneurial activities. In particular, I worked extensively with the Smart Zones, which focus on different disciplines, but are basically free resources to entrepreneurs. Other than that, I co-founded different businesses, advised different businesses, and helped really grow the entrepreneurial landscape at my alma mater. I've worked in project management as well as running product lines for a large corporation where I wore multiple different hats in that facet of business as well. And so I would say that if I had an area of what I believe is expertise, it would be business. It would be understanding strategy and wanting to cultivate organization. Those are probably the things that I learned most being in an environment that was booming from a business standpoint. An environment that didn't look like the one, let's just put it that way, that I was used to, that I grew up in. And it opened my eyes to a lot of different things that I don't necessarily need to take everything that I learned there and bring it back to the city, but take what I learned and try to make it foundationally fit what we want to accomplish as a city here in Pontiac. I think the first thing that I think I bring to the table is a different set of experiences than a lot of other people have. You know, someone may bring up the question, well, you know, what experiences do you have? What have you done? And my reply would be, well, who sets the standard for what experience is important? Because I would argue that I have a number of experiences that no one else actually has, at least the people that are currently representing the government here in the city. So I would say that's the first thing. I would say that, again, a different perspective is never a bad thing. Never a bad thing. The next thing is inclusiveness. And what I mean by that is we have a generation of millennials that will be the workforce in 5 years, 50% of it, and then 10 years from now it'll be 75% of the workforce. So how can you have inclusiveness in the city without representation? And that's one of the things that I bring to the table. I understand how to speak our language. And it's gonna be really important going forward if we wanna be a progressive city to speak the language of your future workforce as well as the next 10 generations of graduating classes, right? The youth of the city, if you will. And so those things combined is what make me unique and quite honestly, is necessary. For a number of decades, things just haven't been going well in the city, and it's time for that to change. I think another question that I've been asked, that I will continue to probably be asked, is where have you been? And I'll reiterate that the goal was always, the plan was always to come back home and bring whatever I can to the fold. I've explained, you know, where I've been and some of the things that I've done, but those experiences, I think, is going to be what helps progress the city to become ultimately what it seeks to become.
Paid for by the committee to elect Chris Jackson.